I want to show you probably the most common way that black will lose in the Grand Prix. And the game I'm about to show you, I've basically played the same game at least 4 or 5 times in online blitz and maybe once or twice in tournaments. And it's a very nice illustration of how black just plays natural moves and then just gets overwhelmed with attack. And we'll see more of a kind of classic example of Grand Prix. So e4, c5, knight c3. Black plays d6. Well, most players will play d6 here because most players either play knight or for dragon. d6 is pretty common. Now, before we go any further, I should note that the most common piece placement for white in Grand Prix is pawn on f4, knight to f3, bishop c4, d3, and castle. And we'll see white plays basically all these moves consecutively. So f4, f3, bishop c4, castle, d3. And we get to this position. And here there's some kind of interesting idea, which if you play this opening, you kind of have to know about. After knight e7, black has a threat in the position. So what does black want to do after knight g7? Yeah, Arjun. Black wants to play d5. Very good. So then the next question is, how does white stop it? You want to play f5? f5 is very thematic for this position, but isn't played so soon. I think I'll show you guys because the move to stop d5 is not that obvious. It's kind of tricky, and it's also a multi-purpose move. Move is queen e1. It's simply taking advantage of the X-ray vision, where if black does play d5, the e file opens and the knight is pinned, and white would just win a pawn. So not only does queen e1 temporarily stop d5, but it also plans to maneuver the queen to the king side. And this is an incredibly common idea in the Grand Prix, where when your f-pawn is moved so early, you want to maneuver your queen usually from e1 to h4 or g3. Okay, so black castles. And in this position, very key move from white. And when I first learned this move, I was very skeptical of it, because it looks like maybe a little over-aggressive, bit too risky. And then the more I looked into it, the more I realized that this is actually a very dangerous move for black to deal with. And the move, as I said earlier, is f5. Pawn sacrifice. And usually my style is more conservative. I don't like sacrificing material if I don't have to. Usually I'm the one who likes to grab material and then hold on. And actually the first time I was exposed to this f5 idea was on the black side. I lost a very quick game as black, and after that I actually started playing this opening as white. So here black can take the pawn in mainly 2 different ways. Black can take with e-pawn, g-pawn, or black can go for d5. So I want you guys to imagine that you're in this situation as black, and you can choose between these 3 moves. You can take g take f5, e take f5, or d5. I'm curious what you guys would play. So I'll give you maybe a minute to think, and then we'll take a poll. And I'll tell you what's good and what's bad. All right. Didn't give you guys too much time, but might have to go with your intuition. So how many people would play g take f5? Anyone? Okay. Who would play e take f5? Decent number of people. About half. Who would play d5? 1, 2 people. Anyone would do something else? Only gave you 3 options, so hopefully not. These are the 3 most common moves. I will say the worst move is e take f5. It's probably the most played move. It looks like the most natural. You kind of take towards your king side, so you try and defend more, but we'll see why this is bad. The best moves are either d5 or g take f5. G take f5 is very brave. I will say, I think there was a game not too long ago that Leslie So